Hi everybody, welcome back. This is week whatever of what we're doing, and hopefully, well not hopefully, it should be the last one before you all go back to school. So, you know, we need another fast, easy dinner so that you can make it for your parents and your caregivers when you get home from school, and it's super easy and great and everybody loves them. They're sloppy joes. We're going to make them today using lentils because once again, we've got vegetarians in our family that will eat them. You are actually going to get ground beef this time, no more plant-based stuff. So let's go over the ingredients. We've got canned lentils, chili powder, tomato sauce, ketchup, Worcestershire, a little bit of mustard, garlic, onion, and of course a lovely bun to put it all on. The lentils have been drained and rinsed. I wanted to talk about that for a little bit because it's really important that you rinse them. The ingredient list on here, you would think it would just be lentils, but it's not. It's lentils, water, which is of course what they pack them in, salt, calcium chloride, which is a type of salt, and disodium EDTA, which I frankly have no idea what it is. I tried looking online. It's a preservative. It also increases the salt. And then citric acid, which is a flavor enhancer. So, you know, a lot of stuff on there that you probably should just rinse off. If this is a concern for you, you can always get dried lentils, soak them overnight. Same thing, no additives. So that's why we rinse them. Okay, so we're gonna get started on this. First thing we're gonna do is mix up the sauce. So it calls for a 8-ounce can of tomato sauce, and then a cup of ketchup. And since this is an 8-ounce can and I didn't put any measuring cups out, we're gonna do this. And we're gonna dump that in there. This is gonna give you some nice thickness, a little bit of sweetness. Sometimes Sloppy Joe recipes call for sugar. I personally don't like it that sweet, so I don't add any. If it's something you think you need, then by all means, add a little brown sugar. Then we're going to put in a teaspoon of mustard, preferably from a mustard container that's been opened. Look at this. Let's see how, oh look, that comes off fairly easily. Sometimes these things don't. So we're gonna put in a teaspoon of mustard, and we're going to put in a tablespoon of Worcestershire. Pick out the dried grass first. I'm not quite sure where that came from, but. And then a teaspoon of chili powder. Now, also, another thing that sometimes you'll find recipes, they call for hot sauce. If you've got any and you like it, you can put that in. So, I just tried to keep this one really simple for you so it didn't have a lot of ingredients. There is your Sloppy Joe sauce. So you'll notice I didn't add any salt because again, there's salt in the ketchup, there's salt in the mustard, there's salt in the Lea & Perrins, there's salt in the tomato sauce. So always you can add it after, but taste your food first. So, onion. Remember, cut it in half, cut the green end off, leave the stem intact, makes it easier to cut, peel off the outer layer. If you were using ground beef, if you are, then you will be browning your ground beef at this point. We are using the lentils, so we don't have to do that. So I'm gonna go straight into chopping up the onions. So this calls for a full onion. As always, keep your fingers curled back. Just slice up to the stem. That kind of holds it all together for you. There's that. And again, whatever size dice you like. You know, if you want to leave great big pieces of onion in here so that you get the flavor and then you can pick the onion out, You can do that, or you can make it nice and small so that it all gets mixed in. Really, it's up to you. So, there. So, I'm gonna get that started over here. Just in a good frying pan. Turn on the gas, let it heat up. You know the drill by now. I don't need to tell you guys this. You're gonna be so skilled at all of this by the time we're finished these classes. You'll be able to open a restaurant. Clove of garlic. And this should be nice and hot by now. Yep, we're good. So we'll put in a little bit of oil. Add our onions. Start cooking those. And again, translucent is what we're looking for. You know, we've talked about that. Easy way to peel a clove of garlic. Let's see if this one works better than the one I did last week, because, you know, you saw me slip with the knife. I'm going to try something this time. I'm going to cut this end off first, and then we're going to press it. Ah, yes, this works better. See, and the skin just pops right off. How easy is that? And we're going to mince this. You've got, if you've got a garlic press, obviously you can use that. I'm not a big fan of garlic presses. I just, with my hands, sometimes I find them really hard to use because I've got arthritis in my fingers, so this is better for me. We always cook the onions first because garlic cooks faster and browns very easily. And if you brown it, it can get very bitter, which is not something that we want. So there, that's all nicely chopped up. I'm going to clean up my mess a little bit. Set that over there. Put this in the garbage. You can hear the onions sizzling away. And I can smell them. Okay. So I think we're doing pretty good over there. We'll take the garlic over and the sauce. You see them sizzling away. Let's turn a little light on so we can see what we're doing. Look at this. Okay. So as I said, you'll be using ground beef. So you will brown your ground beef first, breaking it up as you go so that it crumbles nice and gets cooked evenly all the way through. You don't want any pink in your ground beef. That's a recipe for foodborne illnesses, which nobody wants. Okay, sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. There's the garlic. You can see it's starting to get translucent. I've got it on just over a medium heat. So, good to go there. We can add our garlic now. Put that in there. Give that a moment or two to cook. So are you enjoying all these super fast recipes that I'm giving you? Are you finding that there are things that you will want to cook again? I sure hope so. I would hate to think that I'm feeding you stuff you don't like. And as always, love looking at your pictures, but you know, you can communicate with us through that Instagram as well. If there's something you want to learn how to make, let me know. I am happy to teach you. What about your lunches? Are you going to take lunches to school? Do you want lunch ideas? Give me some thoughts. Okay, so now we're going to add the lentils. In your case, you would already have the ground beef in here. So we're just going to mix this around a little bit. Now, you don't have to use lentils. You all know that I like them. I use them all the time. Black beans would work. Kidney beans would work. A mixture of beans would work. You can actually make sloppy joes using quinoa as a grain. That gives you a really good case of, a really good source of protein. Quinoa is excellent for that. In fact, fun fact or not, quinoa is the only plant-based protein that has all 9 amino acids in it. So then we're going to add our sauce. And at that point, we're going to do a little tasting. You got to let it cook, simmer for 4 or 5 minutes because you want a chance for the flavors to meld and come together. There we go. Give it a chance to heat up in this case, although with you, as I said, with your ground beef, it'll already be hot. But so you can also, you know, the nice thing about this is you can use it as a base. If you wanted to make a chili out of it, add a whole bunch more beans, add a mixture of chickpeas and kidney beans and black beans. Throw in a little bit of celery when you're sauteing up your onions and garlic. That's what's in there. Chopped vegetables. Remember we talked last week about a mirepoix, which is celery, onions, and carrots. You can saute that as well. And then you can add a little bit more tomato, a little bit more chili powder, and boom, you've got yourself a really great chili. So a good recipe to have. If you wanted to make a soup out of it, you could take this, you could add a liter of broth, vegetable broth if you're going to keep it vegetarian. You could add chicken or beef broth to it if you wanted. Again, you could put in some cooked rice, you could put in some cooked macaroni, and make yourself a pot of soup. So many things you can do with just this as a base. So I'm going to get my spoon, give it a little taste, see if it needs any tweaking. That's kind of, you know, remember, you always taste your food when you're cooking it. Maybe it needs a little salt, maybe it needs a little more chili powder. It's up to you. I think this is perfect, just the way it is. Nice little bit of sweetness from the ketchup. Lots of good tomato flavor, a little bit of chili in there. So, boom, dinner is done. All you have to do now is put it on a plate over a bun. Grab a plate, grab your bun. Now, if you want to get all fancy foo-foo, toast the bun first. You can certainly do that. So, I'm not going to do that right now because, frankly, when I'm filming this, it's 9 o'clock in the morning and I do not want to eat sloppy joes at 9 o'clock in the morning. Toast it, put your sloppy joe mix on top. You put a little cheese on there if you like. You know, it's up to you. And yeah, let me know what you think. Hopefully you enjoy it. And we'll see you all next week. Bye.